to 3D models.
Okay.
Go down to Google, periodic table, scroll down on your phone till you see 3D models, explore elements. And then when you tap on that, it brings up the table. And then you pick the one you want.
Uh-huh.
And then you put view in your space. And you have an option of like your plain space, or you can go to objects where it makes it darker.
Okay. Cool.
And I thought that was really, really interesting to help learn.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just thought I'd bring it up, see if anybody wanted to try looking as they're studying this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
I was a little bored at work last night. All my patients were asleep. It was a good night for once, so.
All right.
Did you get my emails by chance?
I did. Yep.
Okay, cool.
So a couple things. So some people have been having trouble opening lab 1 and seeing the pictures that are in there. It's a Word document. If you're trying to use like Google Classroom or anything like that, it will open up that document and the images will not be right. Okay, and the same thing with a lot of the PowerPoints that I use, the images will be off. Again, what you guys might not know, you all have free access to Microsoft Office 365 through the school, through Greenfield Community College. And so you can download, and I would recommend downloading both Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint at the least, just so that you can view things that I post kind of in the way that they're intended without, without having to worry about trying to figure out where some of these diagrams are. So that's what I think is going on with a few people that I got emails from that said they couldn't, when they opened the lab 1 exercise, they couldn't see any pictures. They could just see numbers and boxes and they weren't sure what they corresponded to. So if you just go to Greenfield Community College's website and you look at Office 365, what I can do is share this with you. We can do this together.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Hi, first of all is to apologize. I missed the class on Wednesday.
Yep.
And again, thank you for responding to my email.
Sure.
Yeah, the problem is only I'm behind that test because I have not submitted yet homework. So, but I will try to.
Okay. And I completely understand when you can submit it and we can, we can discuss that. Sorry, here we go. So when you can submit it, go ahead and submit it and we can discuss, what to do and how to make up any of the work. So let's see what Office 365 brings up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so if you go to the IT help desk, right, that's what I would go to if you are, if you're having issues with any of these things, if you're having issues with downloading Microsoft Office, go ahead and search that because I'm not sure exactly where to go at each school. Each school does it a little bit differently. But generally what you do is you put in your email address and they send a link to your email, right? And that's just how they verify that you're a student at that college. And they'll send a link to your email and then you can, from there, you can download things like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. So I would, if you're not sure how to do that, I would just call them. It says, that you can call them at this number, all IT, and they'll be able to, figure out or tell you exactly how to download those. Okay. There will not be a lab for chapter 2 for the chemistry. I did post the test. Okay, the exam consists of 50 multiple choice questions and 1 essay. You will have 75 minutes to complete the exam once you've begun. The due date is Tuesday, September 28th. Oh, I need to change that. It should be 11:59 p.m. Should be midnight Tuesday. Just need to change that time. So it's due next Tuesday at midnight. We have class on Wednesday. It's due just before that. Now, I'll do that afterwards. Okay. The work that we have in Pearson is also due Tuesday at midnight. That doesn't mean that you have to wait until then to do it. And I would recommend that you do the work in Pearson before you do your exam. So I'm just opening up Pearson so you can see that.
I thought the Pearson work was due the 21st.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah, I thought that was due the 21st and the test was the 28th.
Right, so I have to move the date of the test. So the test I made available today, which is the 17th, I'm going to make the test due the 21st as well. And then that way you'll have it done before class the 22nd. And what is also due the 21st are your 2 homework assignments and your chemistry quiz. Now, they aren't due until midnight on the 21st, the same as the test, the same as when I'm going to make the test due. But I would recommend doing them before the test because a lot of that is going to help you with your test, right? A lot of these questions are the same type of questions that you'll see on the test. It's taken from, they're similar questions taken from the same book. They'll read kind of the same way. So even though these aren't due until the 21st, I would go ahead and start working on them if you haven't already. Some of you have. And what I'll do is I'll move the test, the settings. I don't know, for some reason I must have mixed up my dates, mixed up my Tuesdays. But I'll make sure to do the 21st by 11:59. So you'll have, again, from today until Tuesday night at midnight to do it. You have 75 minutes to do the test. So you have just over an hour to do the test. And you only get one shot at it. You only get one attempt. You can't log in and out, right? But sometime between now and Tuesday at midnight, hopefully you'll have 75 minutes free to be able to sit down and do that. If you have accommodations and you've already sent that to me, please send it to me again. I just don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to shortchange anybody. I want to make sure the accommodations are in there. So if you have accommodations, please just email me once again, just to double check. I just want to make sure I've, checked every box and that I have those in place for the people that need the accommodations, or the people that are requesting accommodations. Right. What kind of questions do you have for me?
Yeah, I have a question. Now, the test is on 28th or 21st?
21st. So the test will be open from today until the 21st. So I have to change the date. I mistakenly put the 28th in here when I posted it. I just posted I put the wrong date in there. So I'll go in and change that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you said on the test, there's going to be like a couple essay questions.
It's just one essay question. So the exam, it says right here, the exam has 50 multiple choice and one essay,
Okay.
right? So I just made one essay question for the
And it
exam.
doesn't have to be like a big paragraph, just a couple lines or,
Just a few sentences. Yep.
okay.
So I'm going to go in and edit the settings right now while we're here. First. Make sure that that got saved. All right, 11:59 a.m. I have no idea why it says a.m. Oh, you know why? Because it's military time. You have to do 23. That's why. Okay, there we go. So the test is set. It's open now. You could go in it this afternoon and take it if you want to. That's fine. But it's not due until Tuesday, September 21st by 11:59 p.m. Okay, that way it is done and out of the way before we start our next chapter, before we start our next topic. And that will be on Wednesday. We'll start our next topic, which is cell biology, cell structure and function. Now, I think I mentioned this to you last time, but the first few chapters in anatomy and physiology are always the ones that people struggle with the most, right? They're the most abstract. Things like chemistry and cell biology are things that are hard to view and hard to maybe imagine in your mind because it's not the blood vessels or the bones or something that you can tangibly feel. So I purposely break them up, right? I purposely break them up into 2 different tests. And I don't want you to feel like if you struggle with this, that means you're going to struggle the whole semester, because it really doesn't, right? A lot of these terms you'll see over and over again. And by the time we get through partway through the semester, you'll start picking up on these terms and say, oh, well, I know brachial means this part of the arm, or I know what this region is because of that term. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this, right? Don't get down on yourself. Definitely try your best and everything. Don't get down on yourself if you don't do as well as you had hoped on the first couple of tests. It does get to be more things that are more tangible, right? As I'm scrolling through, you can see some of the systems that you can actually see. These are body parts and everything that you can actually see. I have made available, not hidden to you, the next couple of chapters: cell biology, the tissues, the skin, which is the integument. All of that's available for you. And also on Mastering A&P, Pearson website, if you go to, this is September, right? And the test is going to be on the 21st. But if you go, the next few assignments are actually on here, right? If I skip ahead to October, you can see where those assignments are. I may move them by a day or 2 here and there, but you can at least see when the tissue assignments are, when the cell biology assignments are, okay? The first cell biology quiz is due Friday at this point. So we'll lecture on it Wednesday, and we'll go over it to Friday a little bit. So I may push this a little bit to like Sunday, just to make it, give you guys a little bit more time doing it. But just so you know, the next 2 quizzes and the next 2 homeworks are up there for you to start working on, especially the homework, right? The homework is a lot of questions. And so I recommend that you go in and out, that you don't try to do them, sit down and do them all at once. So go ahead and start those whenever you feel comfortable. Now, I would say get this test out of the way, get these out of the way and the test out of the way before you start doing the homework for the next chapter. But that's just my recommendation. You don't have to do that. So what kind of questions do you guys have for me?
For some of the labs that are for the next chapter, are we going to do them together over the Zoom?
Yeah, so lab 3 is a cell biology one, and I figure we'll do some of that together, like on our Friday meeting, right? So Wednesday we'll probably go over the PowerPoint more or less, and Friday we'll go over the lab 3. And then the same kind of thing with the tissues, right? There's not an actual lab like in our lab kit that we'll use, but there are worksheets that we'll do essentially. And
Oh,
so we'll do those together. We'll do parts of them together. just so that you guys are clear on what we're doing, what we're looking at.
And
I'm
when we-
about to switch to my computer, so I apologize.
That's okay.
So when we do the kit part, though, we're gonna be working together with those, like the pig
Yes.
and eyeball and all that. We're gonna work all together and on Zoom.
As much as we can, right? This class was not scheduled for any particular time, so some people certainly can't make it at that time on Wednesday or on Friday. What I did last semester and got good feedback on was I did a dissection as a demonstration and posted that, and then I got on either that Wednesday or Friday, whatever day it was, and did kind of a live dissection with whoever was on there. So I would have, maybe like this, like 5 or 6 people on there, and they were doing their dissection live and I was doing mine live, and we could, help each other out and answer questions and show each other different images of what we were doing.
Okay, if we don't do it on Zoom for some reason, do we record it and then submit it, or?
Yep. So with every dissection, you'll see when you actually open up the kit, with every dissection, there's a sheet with some questions, like some follow-up questions at the end. And that's what you'll submit for your lab grade for that week, right? So sometimes I'll have you take a couple pictures during the dissection, just to show different things, different structures. And then for the most part, you'll answer, somewhere around 5 questions and hand that in, turn that in through Moodle, and that'll count as your lab grade for that week.
Okay,
So even if you couldn't make the live session, you could still do the dissection, take a couple pictures and answer the questions and hand it in.
okay.
What else? What other questions you guys have?
And that will be when? When are we gonna work on that kit?
So I don't think we start doing labs from the kits until the nervous system. I think that's the first one that we do. There's an actual, there's a sheep brain in there, and we'll do a dissection of that. And like I said, there's questions that go along with that, follow-up questions that go along with that. But I believe that's the first chapter. So I don't think there's anything from the kit for tissues or skin or bones or muscles.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The Mastering AMP website, I'm about to make a big decision, cutting down my hours at work because of the connection thing. Do you
Oh.
have you had anybody else have that concern? I am at my limit and it's about to be the next billing cycle, so it might just be for the data, but as far
Oh.
as Mastering AMP running on somebody's mobile hotspot, have you heard that before?
I haven't. I've heard of issues with it if you're not using Chrome. So like a lot of people have Macs. Safari is kind of their default browser, and it doesn't play well with Safari. It'll glitch up, or it'll show, it won't show images in the right format. So they recommend, even if you're using a Mac, to download Chrome and use Chrome. But I haven't heard anything about, how much data it uses. Or anybody having issues with that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but I try and do it at work on my computer, and like I said, it might be because it's at the end of my billing cycle and
Right.
all that, but I'm gonna try it before I do that. But I'm gonna tell my boss I don't want to work the next 3 nights anymore. Yeah, basically I'm just picking up right now because I was part-time and then this other kid is out, so I'm kind of getting stuck over there, but the internet situation is not working like I had planned.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
And I also don't know how well mastering works on like a tablet or a phone. Right. I don't think it works as well on that as it does on a laptop.
Right. Well, yeah, it's on a laptop and I just use my mobile hotspot to connect to it, and I've
Right.
downloaded video games on it before, so I don't know why But we'll see. We'll
Okay.
see. I'll just have to tell her for this weekend that I gotta focus on school.
Okay.
I'm really upset about that chemistry quiz. I shouldn't have done that at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it's just one
You know-
quiz, just one grade.
Oh, man, I did okay on the other ones. But yeah. All right, we'll get to it.
Yet.
I'll stop crying.
I printed out the PowerPoints at work, so I'm going over and
Oh,
highlighting.
geez. Do you know how to print them out so you don't have to waste a sheet of paper for an entire slide?
It's not my
Sure.
paper.
Well, no, but it still becomes cumbersome to look through too. So when you go to print it out, let me share my screen again.
I printed them out. What I did is I divided it back where each of the checkpoints are at the end, so I can answer the questions in the end.
Okay.
And then I'm highlighting, and I know I could do like double side, but I don't like doing that.
Sure, but you can print it out so it shows like 6 to a page.
Okay.
so if
That I
you go-
didn't know.
So if you go to File, Print, and you've got the settings, right? This setting that says print full page slides, 1 slide per page, you can just click the drop down. You could print, 2 slides per page or 3 per page or even 6 per page, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Just
see that.
sometimes it's just easier to see, or easier to store a stack of paper if it's 3 times less paper. So it's just this little just that little drop down menu, and you can choose all these different layouts. You could do it
Yeah,
you could do it 1 slide per page too. I don't mind. I'm just giving you the options.
I did a lot of overtime the last few weeks for work, so they can at least afford a little bit of paper for me.
All right.
I already have over 50 hours this week of work, so
There you go. So you're done.
no.
Well, theoretically.
You gotta get to 68.
Jeez.
Well, that'll be this weekend. I'm doing a 12 on Saturday because they had 3 call outs, so.
Oh,
Oh, God, yeah. My field, both my jobs, no, I don't know why. Nobody wants to work. I do what you do for one of my jobs, and I do security for the other one. It's like,
Well, I
really
get
don't wanna-
critical pay. If I pick up an 8-hour shift, my critical pay is an extra $17.50 on top of my pay rate. If I do a 4-hour shift, it's an extra $9.50. So I picked up an 8-hour.
what company is this? Because the one I work for doesn't do that, and they're all the way in Somers, Connecticut, so driving
work-
from South Deerfield.
I work for Bay State,
Okay, all right,
so
very cool.
they're paying, and then they just offered a $1,200 bonus if I wanted to switch my shift to 7P to 7A. So I'm thinking of it.
wow.
Really? So are they hiring?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, can you take my email, or can I take yours and switch some information, or?
I'll email you.
Okay, sounds good. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a problem with a shortage of workers everywhere. I know, I live in Connecticut, and it's on the news every day about how there's not enough bus drivers, and there's not enough this, there's not, a lot of stores are having to close early. Retail stores and stuff are having to change their hours just because they can't get enough people to work to keep it open, long enough hours.
Yeah,
So
we don't have any staff really, so I'm always staying and picking up. Sometimes I'll stay till 3, 4 in the morning and I'll do my homework and.
ugh,
I have a chemistry question along the lines of this whole COVID shit. So the COVID it's got that protein spikes in it, right? Proteins are made of nucleic acids, right? So my whole thing was like, people are like, I don't want to get the vaccine. Well, I'm one of those people, and I went and I used I don't know if I can. I used tablespoon of sodium bicarbonate and drank it after I took the vaccine.
okay.
And it was my hopes to negate it or flush it out.
Okay.
You think that that would work?
Not necessarily. No,
Not
I mean,
necessarily, because
no.
but sodium bicarbonate's a strong base, so flush out the.
right, but they're injecting the vaccine into your muscles, and so it's getting into your bloodstream a lot quicker than if you drink something, it has to go through your digestive system and get absorbed by your intestines. So that's going to take a few hours to get into your bloodstream. So I don't know how much at that point, I don't know how much of the vaccine is, you know what I mean, is able to be absorbed.
Well, I
by
felt
what you
like
drink.
absolute shit for like most of the afternoon, and then I drank that and I felt fine. But the whole idea, I learned it back when I was in Ohio. Ohio has a lot of people who know a lot about science and chemistry because their warehouses and stuff, like their manufacturing businesses, like electroplating or brewing or stuff like that. And yeah, his idea was he was trying to lose weight and he was trying to lower his cholesterol. And I guess it, flushes out kidney stones and like plaque in your arteries. So
Okay,
that was my whole ideology. Like that?
I got it. Okay, I can't say it doesn't work. I don't know, but I
Okay,
mean,
so drink it before I get the vaccine next time, is what you're saying. It's a timing thing like everything else.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, what's
Yeah, I don't
what's your
know.
hesitation with the vaccine though?
Blood clots, all that, what if kind of stuff.
Yeah, but are you vaccinated against other things like MMR and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I was in the
You got-
Navy. I went through boot
Yeah.
camp. I got like 30 shots and I've never
Right.
gotten 6 since. So
and you probably don't know what was in those shots. The people that I know that have been in the military, they're kind of like they just line you up and
they
there
do.
you
All
go.
it is like, one on each side, just poking
Yep.
you in the arm as you go through like a assembly line.
Right. I
Yeah,
guess
I
my
don't have
point
any
is
hesitation. Go ahead.
no, I guess my point is that I don't think there's anything harmful in the vaccine. I think there's a chance that it might not work against every strain of COVID, and that's what we're seeing. But I don't think I think there's a very, very, very slim chance of any deleterious effects from it, I just
I was with Josh. I didn't want to get it, but I was mandated or I lose my job.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah.
Yeah. And I can't go to.
I had COVID.
Me
Mhm.
too. It's like, I don't know.
I had COVID when I first started. I was out of work for 3 weeks. I still have respiratory problems.
My brother ended up getting it back in I think January, and he still doesn't have smell or taste. He said it comes and goes.
It actually altered my taste.
Yeah.
There's like I lost taste and smell. That's how I figured out when I had it.
hmm
I didn't have fever or body aches, but I had every other symptom. There's some things I used to like to eat. Now I can't eat anymore because I don't like the taste of it. Like peanut butter.
Mhm.
I absolutely love peanut butter. I can't eat it anymore. I don't like
Wow.
the taste.
My
It tastes,
cousin is taking zinc and he says that it's helped bringing his taste and smell back.
but it's good though because certain junk foods I used to love, I don't like anymore, which is good because now
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
these peanut butter cups, I could eat a bag. Now I'm like, I can't stand them and it's good.
That's good.
But yeah, I was against the shot too, but because of school and work, I had to get it. But I got so sick off of the shot.
Yeah.
I was worse with the shot than I did with the actual COVID.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Well, I mean, that's the hope is that the shot is going to trick your immune system into thinking you have it so that you have more immunity the next time you actually encounter the virus. Right. I mean, so the shot making you sick is a good sign.
and I work with COVID patients too. I was
Yeah.
working on a COVID unit the other day. So yeah, I have more of a chance getting COVID now than I did before too. So
right.
Yeah, I started my job and somebody had COVID there. I was like, oh, thanks.
But hopefully now that you're vaccinated, even if you do catch COVID, you won't end up in a hospital, right? Hopefully it won't result in you being on a ventilator or anything. It'll be more like a cold or a flu kind of thing.
yeah,
That's the hope.
yep.
Right. Any other questions? Peter, I wasn't sure if you had a question there a minute ago.
No, I'm good now. It's only to finalize with my homework,
Okay.
and I can be able to submit. I'm sorry, as I told you, I lost my mother-in-law, so I was
Right. Yeah. And my condolences. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. And I completely understand that you're, that you have to turn in a few things late. That's fine. That's completely understandable.
okay.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, if there's no other questions, I'll let you guys go. I'll keep checking my email all weekend and make sure you email me when you have questions. I will email the class today, since there's only a few of you on, just to make sure that everybody knows the test is up. The test is due Tuesday by midnight. And so is the chemistry quiz and 2 homeworks. And I'll also say that I recommend everybody to do the mastering A&P assignments before the test, because it'll give you a lot of studying, a lot of practicing on the similar questions. And that's about it.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
guys.
some of those questions in chemistry, the trick is how they ask the questions, not the material. Like
Right.
you can know the material inside and out, but anytime you take a chemistry quiz or test, the question is going to be asked a different way. And it's like, man, you
Yeah.
know, the compound or a molecule. Damn.
Right. Right.
Is it
Right.
kind of like you have to read between the lines?
Oh, it's
Right.
worse than that. It's like, a lot of people want to get in the medical field, so they got to do something. Got to try and confuse it. Make sure you're paying attention or thinking the right way.
There
Well,
you
that's
go.
how they do it on the tease test and the next class. You have to read between the lines of what they're asking. I'm hearing.
The
They don't
NCLEX.
ask
Speaking
you
of that,
directly.
when
Okay.
do we take that? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's how I hear like that. The tests for the next, I can't even pronounce the thing. Nexus. You have to read NCLEX. Thank you.
Yep.
Then you have to read between the lines. They won't ask you out directly. They'll ask you a question, but you got to kind of like read like how, in between the lines on it. Like, so it's
Yeah.
tricky. But it could be any of the answers are correct, but you just got to pick the one that they're asking for. Is that how it is
Usually-
for the chemistry?
Usually in a science test, you can narrow it down to 2 questions and you got to be like, use critical thinking to figure out which one it is and read the sentence like it's supposed to be read, or the question rather.
And
Yeah.
I'm an overthinker, so like I will.
Yeah, me too. That's my problem. The thing is you get it before you read it, and then you read it all and you're like, oh, no, I got a different perspective. And then it's like, when you
read
come
it
to
like
the
outside the box, in the box, around the box, and then it's like you pick it and you're like, crap.
yeah, you know how it is. Is there any way we could do? No, I'll ask you that in an email. I was gonna say, to make up for chemistry points, I could do like an experiment or something.
No,
Ah,
but I'll drop.
okay.
I think I put on the syllabus that I'll drop the lowest quiz grade, right? I think I put that on the syllabus.
I
So
think
even if
you
you got a
did
low
too,
one,
yeah.
even if you got a low one, I dropped the lowest quiz and the lowest homework.
I'm
So-
just disappointed because that's my thing, man. I was like, I'm gonna get this done, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and it's like I kind of felt pressured because of it. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. But all right, if you're gonna drop the lowest quiz, I'll just try not to let that happen.
There you go.
Now with the
Mhm.
quiz, you only get one chance, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Right.
not
The
timed.
homework you can do multiple times.
All right, and the quiz isn't timed, right?
I don't think it is. Do you
Okay.
remember, Josh?
Mm-mm.
I don't
No,
think
it's
it's
not.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then I'll sit and actually focus on the question for as long as I can.
That's
There
what
you
I
go.
would do. I would read everything about that question before you answer it.
Yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
I'll really take my time with the quiz then.
Yeah,
I have Sunday off. I think I'll do it then.
there you go.
There you go.
I can't wait to call my boss and be like, I'm not working. She's gonna be so mad too, because they're like short. And it's like, sorry, I got a life to live. She's like one of those people who's like an extremist. So she'll go to
Right.
extreme to get the job done. And it's like excessive sometimes.
Oh,
Like she wants me to, she tries to get me to run my car every day. Like I have Wednesday, Thursday off. We pick up our paychecks at work. She
Right.
will not give me my paycheck Wednesday morning when I get off. Or
Did you
yeah,
come
she'd
back?
be like, nope, you gotta come back at 1 o'clock to get it. I'm like, does that seem practical to you? That's a half a tank of gas. Oh, well, Jose said, and I'm like, you're getting on my nerves. She's like that too. She'll do that. Like she'll move me around. I don't know what it is. Like she just like want to run the shit out of her employees. It's
Huh.
awful. Yeah. But anyways, I can't wait to be like, hey, guess what? Yeah, it can't work.
All right, guys. Well,